Hey, Jason, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
I wanted to ask you, how big was the game for you last week? Not only just the game-winning field goal, but from rebounding after the missed kicks after, the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was a big win for the team. When I miss a kick, I don't try to overanalyze, overthink it. It's usually just on to the next one, and I think that's what usually helps me for future kicks. Is not just dwelling on a missed one.
Joe?
Hey, Jason, good to see you. I was just Googling Andrew Frank's K-ball. I wanted to try to remember that deal. 2016 at Buffalo, Franks is going to kick a 55-yarder to tie the game and keep the Dolphins' playoff chances alive. Are you familiar with that story? And have you heard the story about how he looked down and realized it wasn't a K-ball like it was supposed to be?
No, I didn't know it wasn't a K ball, but I remember the kick. I remember I saw a video of the kick, but I don't know about the incident with the K ball. I don't know how. I haven't kicked a quarterback ball or anything, so I'd assume it wouldn't be much different. It's just not identified as a kicking ball.
Travis?
Hey, Jason. Good afternoon, man. I went back and watched the game today, and I saw you gave a good little fist pump after the game-winning kick. I'm wondering, what is the emotion like of knowing that you just put the team on top for the final score of the game? And I'm also wondering, did you play other sports growing up, and is there an equivalent to a game-winning kick, like maybe a walk-off homer or a buzzer-beating three?
Yeah, I mean, it's about the same, or a soccer goal in the last second. No, but the game was up and down, and it feels good to be able to come up with a good win like that for the team. There's a lot of energy on the field, so a lot of energy goes into how important a kick was, and when you hit a kick like that, it's hard not to celebrate.
Joe?
So, Jason, I think you're 1 for 1 on field goals in 2 games at Buffalo and maybe something like 5 for 5 on extra points. When it's when it's expected to be very cold, how do you feel about the cold? And does that affect anything about the inflation of the ball, how it travels? What are some factors you need to take into consideration?
I maybe had 1 or 2 cold games here with the Dolphins, and I found a lot of success in it. It's just, I think the thing with Buffalo is the conditions. I don't think the cold will be as big of a factor as maybe the wind, but yeah, it's just staying smooth with your process, and it's a pregame thing where you identify, how it's working, how the ball's flying off your foot, and you're going to make it happen from there. So, I mean, I'm going to identify where the wind's blowing and probably just, go off that, and hopefully all my kicks go in.
Hal?
Hi, Jason. Good to see you. A lot of us, myself included, thought you had a really good shot at the Pro Bowl this year. What were you thinking about that? Was it a disappointment, or were you just waiting to see what was going to happen?
I think nothing takes away from a good season that I'm having. So I know as a kicker, if you're doing well, if you're not doing well, and just because I didn't make the Pro Bowl doesn't mean I didn't have a good year. And so that's ultimately what I reflect on.
Safin?
Jason, can you take some of us back to what those 19 seconds were like before, Fitz's head almost got ripped off and he's throwing it down the sideline? What was your reaction to seeing the play, the flag, and then did you kind of like scurry over to get on the field?
So I was getting loose. When they were kicking the field goal to go up, I was already at the net. As with my position, I'm anticipating a kick. The game's not over until it hits zeros, and so I didn't want that situation to happen, and I wasn't loose. So before Carlson even hit the go ahead at the end, I was already getting loose.
Joe?
Sorry about my obsession with K-balls. I'm pretty sure the reason they didn't have the K-ball is because it was the Geronimo drill where they didn't have time and they just all ran out. So under normal circumstances, like who's in charge of the K-ball? Is it Blake Ferguson? Is it a special teams assistant? Whose job is it to make sure that it doesn't happen in Buffalo?
The ball guys. The ball guys are our equipment guys on the sidelines. So but like you said, on a no timeout, you got to go situation, you're gonna get what's already on the field. So, but on a normal operation, we got the equipment guys throwing in our K-ball.
Hal?
So in those dying seconds of not just the game the other day, but any game, are you looking forward to a pressure kick, or are you feeling it as that, pressure?
What I've learned is that I can't be too comfortable. You want a little bit of nerves going through. You don't want to be too comfortable because then it might not feel like an important kick. And the way I want to treat every kick is it's important, whether it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter. So I think a little nerves helps, and it helps you focus a little more.